a long time ago. Now I know some of you are saying, a long time ago, that was when you were a little boy. But this is really a long time ago, way back when my grandfather was not even thought of yet. You see, out in Maine, the Ossipee River runs alongside of what is now Route 25. And the towns of Cornish, South Hiram, Porter, all have a little dam on the river, and there was a mill in each of these towns a long time ago. And Route 25 was not there, just a dirt road. But everywhere there was a blacksmith shop. You see, all those things you needed to farm the potatoes, shoe the horses, fix all the household implements. You didn't run into the mall here in Portland, I'll tell you that, to get them. The blacksmith did it. And one of the things the blacksmith did was those big wagon wheels, they put the tires on them. Now the tire was a band of iron or steel that was heated glowing red and wrapped around that big wheel and riveted tight, and it was dropped into the river and went shh, and the metal shrunk down, and you had the tire that made that wooden wheel last. Well, as you can imagine, if you're a blacksmith, you probably had some pretty good arms and a pretty good chest on you. Maybe not the biggest hat in the world, but you were strong. Well, the blacksmith's son, and I'm not going to mention any names here, because this is Maine, and it's a pretty small state, and I wouldn't want to embarrass anybody about their ancestors. The blacksmith's son, he came out and he already had big arms. Why, at 4 years old, he was out in the yard picking up stones and just throwing them across the pasture. By the time he's 12, he'd be down there at the Ossipee River picking up stones and throwing them across the river. And the older boys would come down and kind of, bet you can't throw it as far as I can. And the older boys would pick up that stone and they'd throw it. And, well, the 12-year-old blacksmith said, so the older boys would say, well, here, how about a rock like this? I bet you can't throw it as far as I can throw it. And they'd throw it, and it wouldn't even go across the river. And the blacksmith's son, he'd pick up a big old rock and just, and there wasn't even a splash, just a crash in the woods on the other side. One day, a baseball team, now this was something brand new back then, a baseball team came out from Portland. They were going to put on a demonstration and charge 10 cents a piece to see this game of baseball. Well, after the game, some of the baseball players were down by the river, and the blacksmith's son's, he's throwing rocks. One of the baseball players said, you know who I am? I'm the pitcher. I can throw a rock further than you. And he picked up a rock and just threw it across the river. Off in the woods there was this crash. Well, the old blacksmith's son, he looked at that guy from Portland and said, watch this. He picked up a rock and he turned 90 degrees and he threw it down the river. And it went, and it went, and it went. Finally, there's a little splash right up there by where the New Hampshire border was. Well, as you can imagine, he turned into a pretty good blacksmith. I mean, he could swing a 3-pound hammer and a 6-pound hammer, and he could move his own anvils around all by himself. One day, he's in the shop. Bang! Bang! A stranger came in. Mighty well-dressed stranger. A very well-dressed stranger with a fine black suit with matching trousers and a black linen duster lined with scarlet silk and a big black Stetson hat. Now, The blacksmith noticed there was a little bulge in the back of the pants. And the stranger, well, he walked as if his feet hurt inside the boots. Anybody know who the stranger was? Anybody doesn't know who the stranger was? He was Old Scratch. It was Beelzebub. It was the devil himself looking for a bet. So the devil says, pretty strong. Says, how high do you think you can throw a 3-pound hammer? Because I can throw it higher than you. He says, well, the blacksmith picked up that 3-pound hammer. Way up through the clouds, and the clouds sort of parted back, and up above the blue sky, well, it was a kind of pearly glow. And that hammer went right up through that pearly glow and came back down. Thud. Well, the strangers, pretty good. Watch this. I'm going to take a 6-pound hammer. I can throw that farther than you threw the 3-pound hammer. Well, it went up. A 6-pound hammer. The clouds all pushed back. This blue sky with that pearly glow. But there was a little hole in the pearly glow now. And the 6-pound hammer went right through, and that hole got a little bigger. And down came the 6-pound hammer. Thud. Well, the blacksmith says, Old Scratch, I'm tired of messing around. You watch this. He picked up the anvil, and it went right. All the clouds disappeared from the sky. All the blue disappeared. And the pearly glow was up there with a big hole in it. The anvil went up and came down, down, down. Boom! Well, Old Scratch was kind of standing there looking when he heard from up in the hole in the pearly glow of the sky, Gabriel. And the Archangel Michael was right next to him. And he says, hey, you guys, stop throwing that stuff up here. You're busting heaven up. If you do it anymore, there won't be any heaven left. And right then, Old Scratch said, contest is over. You win. Man, if we destroy heaven, I'm out of business. Thank you.